Hello, welcome to another exciting episode of
Whoosh, the English couple.
Yes, it's another week and we are parched. Not a lot has been done this week, as you can imagine, with the strange ongoing heat wave that we've had here in Britain. How have you found it this week, Julia?
Yes, a little warm.
We've been
dry.
We've been taking lots of water, as you can imagine. We bring up...
With our Celtic sea salt.
Yes, with our Celtic sea salt.
And then thinking about the land.
We bring up bottles of water when we come here, and by the end of the day, we've guzzled those down. So, but there you go. We often stop at our favourite farm shop en route, don't we?
Yes.
Charlie's Farm Shop. Give them a bit of a plug. To get some raw milk to make cups of tea or to have just milk on its own.
Nice drink of milk. But
you've got to keep yourself hydrated in this weather, and it's not just yourselves. We've been struggling with the plants, haven't we?
Yep. They've been baking and drying out and desiccating, haven't they?
And we'll show you what's happened to the land itself as well in this episode. But I can tell you, the heat has stripped out. I've never known it to strip out my energy. I'm usually quite energetic, aren't I? But we've had to resort to finding shade and sit down for half an hour just to kind of recoup.
Yeah, and just try and re-energise, but it's very difficult, isn't it?
It is difficult. And even now you can hear that we're not full of energy and bounce because we've been filming bits for the episode and already we're wilting. So, why don't you guys sit back and watch what we've got for you?
All of this. This is all the way along the row. The veg garden is under siege. Absolutely a battleground here. It's everything I can do to keep the poor roots covered. They keep getting fully exposed in some cases. Oh, and I'm not even in my work clothes yet. But this is going to have to be done very soon. It's very frustrating. So, blackbirds, wrens, rodents. I actually think it's a bit of everything because we've got more and more rodent holes popping up here, there and everywhere in here. Doesn't help that the ground is cracking open. We'll talk about that a bit more later. And they're coming up through all sorts of different ways that they didn't before. So this is going to have to be all packed up. I'm going to have to find something to put over them. It's so frustrating. I'm really quite annoyed. I love all life and all creatures, but this is frustrating because these are so close now. Just need to finish them off. And I would hate for them to be ruined now because I've got so many people who I've promised celery to and I'm looking forward to eating lots more of it ourselves. And we have indeed begun eating the celery. I'll come around this side. So, yeah, some of them are nice. They're still quite thin, not what you would see in the supermarkets, but they are substantial enough to make a meal out of, and we have indeed had some in our meals in the last few days. We're eating more and more stuff that's come out of here, and if we could just maintain and keep the roots safe, we'll have lots more. Next, I'd like to move on to the fava beans. The lovely fava beans. Well, they were, but they've been under siege also. They've had this rusty spot stuff coming up. And I have tried to wash it off every now and then, whilst not letting the leaves be wet at night, things like that. So, yeah, the roots, they've been attacked, as you know, and we've talked about in previous episodes. And I've even took to putting these fake slate, really useful stuff, but we've put them down and that did not stop a single thing. It's still ravaged under there. So yesterday, we took the initiative to actually just harvest what we had, because most of it was ready anyway. Now normally we would have, well, I say normally, we're new to this, but what we did with the broad beans was we were just harvesting them as we wanted them. But things are dire now. Not only are we having the usual problems, but because of the heat wave, those problems are getting worse because everything's desperate to find grubs to get some moisture into themselves, I suppose. So yeah, but we've got lots and lots of beans to seed some new plants if we choose to at another point. But yeah, so these just need hacking down now. No more having to bank up the roots or anything like that. Done. Thank goodness. I'm just quite frustrated. So sad. My poor beans. Poor beans. Oh, there's a couple more here we can harvest. Waste not, want not, they say. But yeah, look at this, scattered everywhere. Well, to be honest, they did protect the roots from getting thoroughly exposed, so it did something. It went some way to helping, but new tactics will be sought out next time we get some on. Right, next, let's talk about the carrots. So a little bit of good news. The carrots are doing very well still. We've had them with every meal in the last, well, it's coming up for a week almost, I think. And there's still plenty to be had for now, but I don't want to run out. And I'm hoping the seeds that we've planted are going to come up. And I should have planted more sooner to have a bit more of a bridge in between the harvests, but we're getting there. But yes, good news. Oh yes, and each time I've pulled them up gingerly, they've always been so much more satisfying to look at than I had imagined. They look a bit thinner on the top, but actually they're substantial. Every single time I've pulled one up, it's been better and bigger than I had imagined it was going to be. So I'm really chuffed with that. Something had to go at least slightly right. Right? Right. Next, tomatoes. These are all coming along. Ooh, lovely. There's lots and lots on that one. A lot of them are small, but we've got time to plump up a bit. Yes, 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 yes. These are doing very nicely. I think they're due a nice bit of fertiliser. But yes, I'm so happy with these. Got some ripening on the other end, but these were from a slightly different batch. Oh my goodness. So tasty. Oh, exciting. Right, I think we need to go to Richard now and see what he's been up to.
I have taken the net off the fruiting trees, as you can see. It was, I don't know, it was a bit of an error really, but all across all these fruiting shrubs, I was aware that the berries that came up quite quickly were either being eaten by the bugs and things, or I thought birds. And down here we can see a sample of some blackberries and red berries or whatever. I can't even remember. It might be sunberries, that one. They've all struggled with this heat, the heat that we have with no rain to sort of really get down to the roots and make the whole ground with moisture in, has been a real bugbear. And of course we've had to water them, but the water is not penetrating down far enough, so I think their roots are not very well immersed in there, and they're all looking a bit grim and a bit sad. This one particularly is looking very sad. However, there are the tendrils from the blackberries and I guess the raspberries, I'm not quite sure, and so the netting has come off because we need to put wire in to train these tendrils, if that's what the correct term is. Let me come around here. and at the moment they're not massively long, but we want to sort of train them so they kind of go up and down and up in an enclosed space temporarily for the moment, because I think we've put them in, again, another schoolboy error, as newbies that we are, we've probably put them in a bit close. So I suppose ordinarily we'd have them in line, but for the moment, because we've got these posts that I put up for the netting, I thought if we can just get them off the ground so they're not doing that, that would be a good idea. So they're going to try and train them up along just some wire, which you probably can't see on the camera so easily, but they are here. So that's something. But and also the other thing, I put some more farmer's fertilizer, it's called, around them to try and get some more nutrients into them, so that when we water them, it washes down to wherever the roots are. I'm hoping that they're deep down there, but everything's rock hard, so I don't know how the roots are faring really. But I think we've got a good chance. We may not get much of a crop this year, but hopefully next year they will, if we can just keep them to survive. What we need more than anything else is water, but that goes for everything. And if we have a look at the ground, I'll show you some cutaways of the ground. The ground is drying out like I've never seen it, with these fissures, these great big cracks, and some of them go down a foot deep. And this, I imagine, is where the moisture in all the topsoil has gone, and so it's all sort of compacting together, cracking up like there was an earthquake. It is a very strange thing to see, and unfortunately some of these cracks have appeared where the roots are, so they're sort of gaping great holes, which I tried to stuff more manure in, if only to get that nutrients into the plants. But I dare say everybody's got the same problem because of the extended heat wave that's going on, and they keep telling us we're not going to get any rain, proper rain, till September. We're in August, but we've had this May, June, July, now August, and it's been a struggle. I want to tell you now about my turnips and the struggle we've had with those. Come with me down to the veg patch down the hill. So this is part of the old potato bed. The main potatoes are over there, and the potatoes themselves have kind of come pretty much to the end. I'm still giving them some water, but the potatoes are in there, and unless the skies suddenly open up and we get a deluge of water, they'll stay in there. But if we do get water, I've been advised to get the potatoes out in case they go mouldy. They've been attacked, as we've mentioned before, by I don't know what, but we think more pheasants are likely, and a lot of potatoes have come to the surface. There's usually a few around. Here's one over here. And they're all eaten, and slugs and maggots and goodness knows what's in them. But we still get enough to say it's been relatively successful. So once the earlies had gone, I thought, well, let's take advantage of that. And in this bed, we've got some celery over here, which we've got an enormous amount of celery, and we didn't want to waste them, so we thought we'll bung them in. It's better to have roots in the ground. That's putting nutrients in, and it's stopping the soil just burning out. So, but of course we still have to water it every day. And then I put in here, which these pathetic looking little plants are turnips, and they started off really well. The seeds are really, really tiny, and so you can't help but get several seeds in. And what the packet says on the back is when you get a clump, you separate them out when they're about 6 inches or so, and then put them in separately, which makes sense. In this heat, however, if you're not watering them every hour, they just dry out, and I separated them and they've all died. They just didn't take at all, so the soil just dries out so damn quickly, and you can't keep on top of everything. But there are still some, they're being eaten. These haven't been separated, and I planted a few more down there. So we'll see. I mean, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But we're showing willing. It would be nice for turnips and those sort of things, parsnips and things, for the old winter stews. But so it's nice to make use of this bed, seeing as we've got rid of all the stinging nettle roots. So we'll see.
Three little graves under the oak trees. Three little souls in eternal peace. Emerald, amethyst, sapphire. Night, babies. We haven't brought you in the big poly for a little bit, so quick update in here. The tomatoes are doing very well. Well, some of them are doing better than others, but such is life. We have been eating them as they've been ripening in salads. We've got all these lovely salad leaves that we have been selecting and making salads out of course. And adding cucumber. I kept forgetting to mention the cucumbers. This is the second one here. As you can see, it's far too yellow. It just went really quickly. I was hoping it would keep growing, but unfortunately, it's got this little knobbly bit at the end that never actually developed. It stopped maturing at that point. I don't know why. There we go. So that's probably just going to be seed for next time. But this one was massive. I think I've got a photo we might be able to add, but it was about that long. And you can see how thick that one is. Slightly, the flavour had slightly gone from it because it had started to yellow, but I'm still very happy with that. I mean, £3 for these two cucumbers. There is another one that looks like it's developing. I'm not sure how far that's going to get. Fingers crossed, touching wood, you know, all of the things. But we've got some very interesting shaped tomatoes in here. Long and thin, it's quite fascinating. So really chuffed. We've got lots of different varieties of tomatoes, lots of several different cherry varieties it seems like, some plums and some big beefy ones and some standard salad ones. It's just fascinating. Didn't know there was that many types of tomatoes. The chamomile, of which I managed to grow loads of in the end, but I haven't harvested in time, and a lot of it has just gone to the floor and in other pots. So they've self-seeded in both polytunnels. I can't say I'm too disappointed with or anything, but yeah, I must harvest some of that because I like to add them to my roll-ups. It's a nice calming herb to add in there and reduce the amount of tobacco and the cost therewith. But yeah, we've got the sweet chestnuts are doing okay. There's only 4 of them left. I started with 7, but unfortunately some have gone. The horse chestnut's doing okay. The almond is doing okay. It nearly died of being too... hang on, let me show you. Da-da-da-da! Funny looking thing. Yeah. And we have, in fact, this is the cosmos. As soon as we put it in this big poly, it only had 1 or 2 flowers to start with. As soon as you put it in here, it went mad. It's enjoying this spot. I have actually bought 2 echinaceas, a nice peachy orange coloured one and a pinky one, the traditional one, because I've been wanting some echinaceas. I did try and grow some from seed. It didn't work. These 2 looked like they were not happy where they were, so I snapped them up, and I'm very pleased I did because they're perked up really well. We've still got some celery in here. I'm going to be giving some of these away soon to friends and family, so that'll be really lovely. That's about your lot.
And the tobacco. We have 12. We mentioned them, I think, last week. They are still growing. This one has come into flower. And to be honest with you, I didn't really know that tobacco had such beautiful flowers. They're kind of like little horns with a display of pink. I don't know whether tobacco has different flowers on different varieties. I imagine it must have. I was watching a video the other day saying, be careful how you handle the leaves, because they're all steeped in nicotine, of course, and you can get something called nicotine fever, the chap said. I thought that was quite interesting, so I'd be a bit careful. They're not quite ready, although some of them down the bottom are beginning to turn yellow, and it's when they turn yellow the leaves can be harvested. I've seen videos where they've got, you know, acres of them and they're going along doing that. We obviously don't need that. This is our first ever trial with tobacco. I'm a pipe smoker, so I want to know if it's possible to process the leaves into pipe tobacco. Julia likes her roll-ups, so again it's the same thing. When I've tried it before, they've dried out into a crisp, and I put some in my pipe and it just tasted like cheap cigars. I'm not really into cigars myself, so we'll see. But they're all different heights, as you can see, and some are taller than others. I think it's because they're in pots and the roots have limited space, but that's fine. For what this year's crop is, it's really an experiment more than anything else. We were given these and it's been brilliant. But how beautiful are the flowers? There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching another episode. I know it's not up to our normal standard, but we are baking away. You forgot to mention some other bits that you're planting.
I did.
Show you.
Planted spring onions and radish, and yeah. Oh, and one morning it was nice and cool. I was joyfully skipping down the lane and rolled and twisted my ankle quite badly.
Yeah, so she's
So I've been hobbling around a bit.
Hobbling about, going. Oh, you filled a wheelbarrow with water.
We did, cold water.
And she was sitting there like Lady Muck and saying, oh, could you bring me a drink, Richard? Could you bring me this? Could you bring me the other? Meanwhile, I'm running around with a wheelbarrow and gloves and turning over the compost heap and trying to water the potatoes and planting the things, the turnips that died, and, you know, tending to all that. And she's just going, oh, and what time are we off?
And what we were actually doing at the time, though,
Oh, yes.
we were going to collect some wood from the border.
Yes.
Between the two.
We'll show you an insert quickly. In the earlier part of the year, we had to cut some willow down on our border, as Julia was saying, and we put some of it, which was going to go into a dead hedge, just on our neighbour's field. Well, we'd completely forgotten about it, so had he, and I thought, well, we better go and pick this up. So we got the old tractor out and we picked some of it up, but on route to open the gate and be helpful, somebody...
I tripped and hurt my ankle.
How is it now?
It's doing a lot better as long as I keep looking after it. Strictly no running.
No running. No hopping and skipping like a little girl.
No joyful skipping at the sheer brilliance of life.
Yes.
No.
Anyway,
yeah, I'm soon not so happy.
we hope that we'll have something for you next time. Let's hope we have some rain. That would be good. Everything will just suddenly start to bounce back if we have significant, but the ground is so solid that it may take a while for it to actually absorb. We'll probably find it's all gone off the hill and down onto the road and causing other problems. But anyway, let's hope not.
Hopefully it will fill the fishers first.
Yes, got to get those fishers filled.
Fill the fishers?
Yeah.
With what?
With
algae?
With water.
Anyway.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing and all that, and all your lovely comments, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye for now. Right. I think we're going to do some sunbathing here, don't you?
I was going to get my work clothes on.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've got to get on and do something.
Yeah.
After all, there's so much to do.
So much to do, so little time.